it look like puke on a sponge.
Yeah,
But follow it, yeah. But these are like little tests. Maybe I sound sure, but I'm not sure. So basically, I'm trying different buttons and I'm trying to see how big the machine is.
Yeah.
And how you can.
But also you modify your aesthetic to every time you are in a different context. Also, I think you're in dialogue. You incorporate the ingredients of the context in the recipe with the food. You see, so today you had the text, you had the fake sponge and the puke with the plastic thing and us and the question. So it was a way to present your work by also doing something. So it is informing us, creating a dialogue, creating maybe a consciousness, a start of questions about food in this group. And I think you always do kind of this. You always adapt, or you don't, and rarely, maybe, but it's a question. Huh? Do you plan to do a food performance, not knowing any context, like on a neutral plane, like a choreographer would do for stage, like empty stage?
Yeah, like we can do this. What I don't,
You
what I cannot
also
conceive is repeating something.
Oh.
You know, like, I don't know who was that. When are you next doing the piece with your grandfather? You know, the one in Red. Jesus, the man died once. That was it. That was it. I couldn't go home, so we did that. Sorry, but and the other one died before I knew him. So it's not gonna happen anytime soon.
But you plan to write a book?
I was thinking about, apropos, how to activate this, to give like recipes, you know? So what could you do, like a guerrilla intervention? You go to a party and you show up with a tray of puke on sponge, you know? And it's like, oh, it's after the cordon bleu cookbook, it's this, in France it's called this, the technology is this, it's in 2 layers, I use the bio color and everything, you know? And then there's a discussion maybe about it. But this needs to be devised. But I'm also very infantile, and I have my approaches of how to set up these devices. You know? But I remember from the presentation in Reims, I was also thinking the other day, when Elke says, everybody was saying, I don't know what, and Elke says, and I particularly like the fact that the food wasn't necessarily good, or that the food wasn't, because it says it's not about this. And now I feel like I'm closer to that comment than ever.
Yeah.
That yes.
Yeah. And I understand, but another performance you did, the one we did at the gallery, the taste was very important because you deconstructed the hamburger. We kind of tasted the texture. The lettuce was like plastic. The meat was like carton. It was. Well. And then at the end, there was a very mysterious box that we had to open, and then there was the ratio for meal, maybe a proper meal with some organic grains that you got from Romania, orge perlé in French, I don't know in English. And then we taste, and c'était un peu fade, comment on dit en anglais? Not so tasty, but after 2 spoons, it was excellent. So you say, okay, it's not funny, but in fact it's good food, and you felt it in comparison with
it's unspectacular.
With the spectacular hamburger who was horrible. And then it was important, because in this little box you discovered also the treasure of maybe more simple food, but so much better for your body without any moral also, because of the taste, because it was not bad, it was just c'était pas mal.
Yeah. But that was interesting, because down here it's one thing. If we are to do it, for instance, in Ukraine or with Victoria, she would probably have a sense, because that's dead people's food, you know, and it was about the butterfly population. So then, this works. But it also, I have to understand aspects related to food design. So when are you doing too much of that and taking away the focus from these? I also don't like now the format of the TV cooking show because I think it's too focused on the format, while it should go more toward the food. Like what can you do with a lamp and a plate? There more.
Yeah, we can say that this is a critical food design. This is a critical food design,
Yeah.
okay? Which is very interesting. A lot of people will say, ha 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 ha, it's funny, come to my restaurant to do it, you know? Be careful.
I don't.
The version of
You're
today.
like this, you know?
I work on the spot.
It's interesting also that you expand your critical weaponry on the food design itself, because you started also like this. I remember when you started Abbas, you said, I'm fed up with glossy cooking book and the normal food design, and voila. So you arrived to a critical food design.
I was also thinking now, if I were to, for instance, to redo this, I was thinking so like part of the performance could be actually me trying to puke, but okay, what does that mean? And so,
I'm so glad you decided not to do that.
doing the, trying to match what you ended up with, puke on a sponge, and cooking according to that, you know? So like the sponges look like this, and what did we have? And I was thinking that then you could go backward, and apropos the food industry and glamorize it, maybe you could ingest, I have these very nice silver and golden little things that don't digest very quick, you know? So we glamour it up, because people like that on the, okay, so if we must have that kind of puke, then I also must ingest some of that, and 2 strawberries, and but then when you make it for the client, then it's properly made, like everything is either pasteurized or just coming out of the packaging, and so, but you match what you just did with what is being served.
But the puke is difficult for people to eat somebody else's puke.
Yeah, but at least here, you know, puke on a sponge, but at least here we're fair with the whole production system. Of course it's appalling and so, but at least here we say, whereas I'm dying of curiosity how those hamburgers are made.
Oh, yeah. It's like if we would know exactly the process, we would see that it's as disgusting as puke from somebody.
Yeah, it was on.
And puke in like huge
But I saw this post on Facebook about McDonald's hamburgers that they actually, it's rotten meat full of maggots, and they use the meat of the maggots to put the protein value up.
It could be.
C'est quoi
So-
maggot?
Les asticots.
Yeah.
Comme ça, c'est en fait c'est de viande avec les asticots qui sont
we
refaits.
are, I think, talking too much about this aspect of...
You know, it's what's inside the stomach of the deer, some kind of deers or something like that. But it's very difficult for the people who go there. This is kind of difficult. But it's their way to eat vegetables, is to eat the already digested vegetables by them. Toast.
Sorry, then you had the question and then Steph. And but yeah, mostly
You can write it down.
yeah, it's
I think to understand what you are
we got it. Oh no.
Yeah, just I can write it. Okay.
Okay.
Good.